So we watched, my wife and I, we watched Suspiria, the original. Then we watched the remake twice. But one thing I didn't expect was for my wife to go, "Hey, let's watch the follow up to Suspiria, which is 1980s Inferno. Welcome to another LSJ's late review." Yeah, she wasn't too keen on Suspiria, the original. Out of the two people I watched it with, my sister and my wife, I liked it the most, and I gave it a 7. And the other two weren't so favourable on it, so I didn't think she'd want to watch another Dario Argento film. Thankfully, I was wrong. Now, this is a really weird movie. And in order to talk about it, I have to talk about Suspiria. So if you haven't seen Suspiria, the original, I mean, or the remake, might want to go watch them. Because I have to delve into things a little bit. And there might be some spoilers, so be aware of that. But hey, this movie's fucking 40 years old. What are you going to do? Suspiria did a lot right for me. It looked beautiful. The music was fantastic. And the horror scenes were, yeah, they were done pretty well. And they were deservedly shocking. Now, the only thing missing from that movie was the story. And then right near the end is this exposition scene that kind of clears everything up for you before we get to the finale. Inferno's not like that. Inferno gets its exposition part done right at the start. Here are the three mothers. Here's where the witches live. Here's what their personality traits are. All that kind of jazz. Now let's go on with the movie. And the movie from there is about as... Look, it's as strange and surreal kind of stuff as the first one, Suspiria, but there are some key things that I think Inferno does better. One of them is creeping dread, tension and suspense. Now, there were parts where my wife and I were just sitting there on edge because, oh, right, this person's going to die. Oh, they're going to die now? No, no, oh, no. Oh no, this looks nasty. Oh, please, please, no. And then it happens, and it's like, oh shit. It's very rare, I think, for my wife to jump out of her seat like that. I'm not saying she's some kind of tough horror aficionado or anything, but it takes a lot for her to go like that. And jump scares aren't included there. So it does those things very, very well. I think the horror aspects of this film are done better than Suspiria. And there's some fucking amazing visuals. Alright, so the visuals, it's not as colourful or as vibrant as Suspiria, but there are a lot of blues, a lot of reds, and a lot of blacks in this film. And there's some interesting settings. At the start of the movie, there is this room that's totally flooded underwater, and just that whole scene was just so eerie and creepy and unsettling. It was fucking fantastic. The music in this movie can be great. They went in a totally different direction to Suspiria, which is smart, or maybe not. Maybe Goblin was a little too big to get again, or maybe he just wanted to go in a different direction. But there's more operatic music here. I'd say some of the music here is influenced definitely by The Omen. Some of the music feels like an Omen Goblin mashup. You'll know when you hear it. It's kind of this disco theme that's rah, rah, like that. But sometimes the music can feel very hodgepodgey, which never took me out of the scene. But I can imagine it might grate some people's ears for sure. Now, of course, this is a Dario Argento directed movie. He also wrote it. I should have said that at the start. I just wanted to jump in and talk about this movie. Look, to give you the gist of this would be really tough. But the first one was about Mother Suspiria. This one's about Mother Tenebrarum, who lives in New York. Though, we do have a bit of a cameo by the other witch that lives in Rome. Mother Lecinarum, I think her name is. We see bits of her early on in the film, but then it transitions over to uh, Mother Tenebrarum for the rest of the picture. Now, it's not really related in any way to Suspiria, except that it's got the three mothers, the witches. The story is, if there is one, yeah, I know. They think, oh, let's get the exhibition done at the start so everyone will think there's a story throughout the whole fucking movie. It takes a while for a story to kind of coalesce, and it ends up being this brother looking for his missing sister. And that's great. It takes a long while to get there. It's not a long movie. I've never. It's really weird to watch a long movie that's kind of slow in terms of getting the plot moving and the story going. But it never feels like there's a main character in this movie. Like, we don't see the brother much, and he's just wandering around, meandering. And, you know, as he meets all these weird, interesting characters and stuff. And it's weird. It sounds like I'm trashing this movie, but there's a lot of the scenes are filled with this eerie kind of tension. And even though it feels like a hodgepodge without too much story, you kind of don't want to see too many horrible things happen to most of the characters. One person in particular, though, I was happy met his end. He messed with some cats, and I don't like that kind of stuff. Now, it just does so many of the same things that Suspiria did. A lack of story or coherence. And an ending that's kind of fucking lame. Why do I say lame? Alright, little spoiler thing here. There's a confrontation. We find out who Mother Tenebrarum is. And she's gonna, the house is burning down, and she's gonna do all this badass witch stuff. And you're like, oh my god, this dude's fucked. He's dead. No, he easily escapes the burning building like it's nothing, and then the witch stays there and just burns, even though she could have easily escaped easily. It felt very anticlimactic and unsatisfying. More so than I think Suspiria did. I was fine with Suspiria. It had a lot of style that kind of made up for it. The ending of this one drug it down. There's great angles in this movie, some great horror, but the characters in the story, and it pains me to say it, but I'm giving this a 6. I can see why people love Dario Argento movies. I can see it because I see some flashes of holy shit, this is incredible. Like, excellent creative ways of filming scenes, different ways of showing horror, or highlighting creepiness and stuff like that. Makes me think that someone, Luca Guadagnino, please, should take this movie and give it the Suspiria 2018 treatment. So I think there's a fucking phenomenal story and a phenomenal movie here. It's just a bit meandering and doesn't quite settle on anything. It keeps moving around a little too much, and you don't get attached to anyone. Whereas at least in Suspiria, I felt attached to Susie. So there you go. Was I glad I watched it? Sure. It's still only an hour and 40 minutes or something. It's not that long a film. I just wanted it to be better. Yeah, because having seen but 2 Dario Argento films now, I know he's got it in him to have all this stuff mesh perfectly. But, everyone says that Suspiria is his best movie. It can't be true. There has to be a gem in there somewhere. I'm going to find it. I don't know when, because I'm doing something else next, but maybe I'll find it. Give me a like, dislike, share and subscribe, all that stuff. Hey, if you've got a Dario Argento recommend, hit me up. I'd definitely love to check out something else that he's made. Doesn't have to be witch related. It could be anything from his oeuvre, Move? Yeah, from his collection, back catalogue, whatever. Let me know. And, follow me on the Tweety, all that shit. Alright, let's do the thing. Fuck, there's a lot of these. Running out of wall. Alright, you can go down here.